Hey, morning, everybody. Here we are with Masters List Review. This is Alex, and I have my guest today, ETC winner Heinrich. Just turned 22. He's just a young boy, but he's good at the game. How you doing, Heinrich?
I'm fine. Hello.
All right, so we're just gonna go down the 29 Masters list. We may have some comments afterwards about the play-ins. So there's 29 people who made Masters. 3 people will come from the play-in, which will be Friday night. Some big names in there like Ryan Sottle's over there and Travis is over there. So we'll see if they make it in. But right now we'll go through the people who actually earned it to begin with. So we'll start with the Demon Armies with Andrea. Um, Heinrich, take it away.
So he has 2 wizard masters.
Double snipes. Right.
Yeah, a lot of sniping,
Triple
a lot
snipes.
of casting spells, but a good support magic as well. But no buffing for the units, and then he has a lot of small units.
So he's a hoarders, a big fiends, big hellhounds, and then like his core is 16, 20, 10, and 2 chaff. Feels pretty straightforward.
So I guess the sentinel will be placed in the lemures, and then it's like pushing and casting spells at your opponent.
Do you like the triple snipe setup? How do you feel about that?
I think it's pretty good. The Omen can always walk into range, and the Sentinel has a lot of range. Like the evocation spells have a lot of range, but it's easy to avoid the Sentinel from getting the extra tokens and letting you snipe. So if you like just walk out of 22 inches, the Sentinel can't march because you don't get the extra token. So maybe the evocation is more for buffing the units. Because dogs with extra reroll to wound are super insane.
Yeah,
We looked at it as well.
There's a lot of good spells he has, and a lot of thermology spells nice on 2 or 3 dice. 2 dice, a lot of them with Wizard Master.
Yeah.
I like the list. He was saying that he had a lot of red matchups. Maybe we haven't gone through all the lists yet, but I'm not seeing it personally.
He has to push harder, I think. Like, the bad matchups are usually when your opponent has a lot of shooting, I assume. If you just push the orders forward, they are so good in most of the bad matchups for demons. So.
Yeah, and he really covered his ass versus warriors with the mirrored scales, I thought.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a huge deal.
Evocation is good against warriors as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I like his list. It's only one of the only snipe lists out there. I think there might be one other one that has a good bit of snipes. Yeah, one of the Warriors lists is snipe heavy. I was surprised. I thought there would be more. There's also only like 4 MR4 people here too, so there might be a lot of room for him to actually do well with the snipe. So we'll see.
I'm missing the extra initiative on the Omen, so you can charge the Warriors of the Dark Arts General and kill him. Because I think the Omen has only initiative 5. But if it's in the Succubi with Chilling Yawn, it should be fine.
That's true. Alright. Ready to go to the next list?
Yeah.
Alright, Scourge. I know you Germans like Scourges, right?
Oh yeah, it's insane. Kills everything. Then Red Haze and Kaleidoscopic Flesh.
Does he have Red Haze? Oh no, he is on that. Yeah, so he has Brimstone, so no Divine, Parry, at +1 attack, -1. I think he meant to take +1 initiative, agility, but he wrote the wrong one, and so he's not changing it because he doesn't want a penalty.
For the Scourge?
Yeah.
But charge, I don't know, he doesn't need more initiative. He's like at initiative 0, I think, so...
I guess he wanted to be 1 so that if he fought great weapons, he would fight before them instead of Simo with them, so that... Because if you're going to fight Simo, you're not going to get the extra attacks anyway. So I think that's the reasoning.
Yeah. If Charge 10 rolls is fine, because if he doesn't take that many missiles, he can just save some tokens for the later rounds where he's in combat.
Yeah, no, I think it's still useful. And I think they're both even the great weapon thing was okay, well, we'll see how much it comes up, but... Then he has 2 Harbingers, a Guiding Red Haze, and he doesn't have a normal Red Haze. Then he has the Guiding... Oh, he doesn't have the Guiding Ichor.
Yeah, yes.
I thought he was going to take the Guiding Ichor.
Flaming Ward. So I guess he expected some Warriors of the Dark Gods.
I think he also didn't want to kill himself with the Ichor on his own guys.
Oh yeah,
with the
that's
red
true as
haze.
well.
I thought in the beginning that it had a guiding Ichor on one of them, so that the whole unit didn't kill itself. But I guess he didn't choose to do that. But I guess if you give yourself rerolls to hit with like the div guy, you might not have to worry about that too much. But I mean, I guess it might have been for the heroes, but it's one of those things that like maybe this is why I'm happy I have Spike Shield. Because I can just kill him back with my Spike Shield instead.
But they have AP3 though.
Well, I'll find another way to kill him. How about that?
I think the second Harbinger is too much. Like, the unit doesn't need Kaleidoscopic Flesh for 350 points. You could just get like another 7 Myrmidons for that. And have another, which I think he's lacking a bit.
Say that again? You cut out. Have enough swag?
He doesn't have that much chaff units. Like, only the Mage Blights and the Furies. And the Mage Blight, the Remnants aren't the best chaff.
You don't think Blazing Glories are chaff, man?
No. They want to fight. They want to pin units, right?
Yeah.
Do
you feel like he lacks like big threats?
No,
like besides the Scourge? Well, besides the Scourge.
The big unit of Myrmidons is pretty good as well. And the Titan Slayer Chariots are good as well. And the Glories are good as well once they are in combat, I think.
Do you like
There's a lot of stuff in this list. But I think, the second Harbinger seems too much. And I think he needs 2 times the reroll to hit for the Red Haze Myrmidons.
Oh, you think he should have guiding, or not guide?
No, just divination and evocation.
Can a Harbinger take Evo?
Yeah, they can.
Okay, so you think instead of witchcraft?
Yeah, either guiding hatred or evocation instead of witchcraft. Because with witchcraft you're kind of fine against shooting as well anyway, because either you fly in front of them and get only 1 wound of shooting, or you can just deny the shooting completely.
So you think it's overkill to have both Kaleidoscopic Flesh and witchcraft?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he is worth
the whole second Harbinger just seems too much.
Gotcha.
Could be Sirens.
You like the rest of it?
I like the rest of it only.
Mainly because there's a Scourge?
Fine. I like the Scourge. I like Lemures. I'm missing the champions on Hoarders and Lemures to like support the Scourge better.
So they can take the challenge.
Yeah, and a little bit more Chef would be fine. Because 1 unit of Furies isn't enough for a pushy list.
Gotcha. Alright, we'll go to the next list. Another demon list. 3 demons in this tournament. This one has another Scourge. Different build.
Oh, that's the Dark-Hide list, right?
Yeah, the Dark-Hide list. So before we talk about the specifics, how do you feel about Dark-Hide in general?
I'm not sure. I don't like it that much. I think it's fine for 1 unit. To like for 1 important unit, so we can place it anywhere. On the Scourge, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part. I think having it on the Scourge would be really nice. Like, you don't even fuck the rest of the units, right? You know, you should have a general idea where your 18 Succubi are going to go, in my opinion. And does it really matter? Like, does anyone really care about 18 Succubi without any other... Like, no one's going to go in the unit, right? And they don't have any other upgrades, so they're kind of just, AP 1 strength. They're not even... They're whatever to me. So...
Yeah.
So it's like... But if you can, like, deploy normally and then throw your Scourge down after everything's done, that seems really strong for 25 points.
I'm not sure how expensive it is on the Cloud Fiends, but I feel like Cloud Fiends without any combat upgrade are just too weak as well.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 points for them. He spent like 100. He spent like 150 points on Dark-Hide, and it's not like crazy amounts, because if you look at the Succubi, it's 1 point each, so it's 58. Or no, 40. 48. And then 24 for the Fiend. But I think for the Fiend, you're right. It's like he's losing out on other upgrades. And so now you're stuck with basically a bunch of Ogres that are fast instead of like rerolls versus the big things and stuff like that. Or AP3.
And since this list has to push into your opponent anyway, because the Scourge has to fight, and the Morg's kind of fighty as well, and they want to run at your opponent, they always know that you're just deploying in front of them.
Maybe he's going to be super sneaky.
I mean, you can deploy first, but wait, if he deploys first, he isn't even... if you deploy... I don't know, it's weird. I think...
Wait, how does it... It's when you deploy first... So this is a question. Maybe I'm just... When you deploy first, and he has all this scouting, you just... It's your plus to the roll is how many the enemy has left, right?
Yeah.
So if he deploys first, he's going to put down his 4 units, and then the enemy goes, and then he puts down his 5 other units.
Yeah, so he has like a third of a chance to get the first turn, because he has 4 units without Darkite.
Why is it a third, though? It's how many your enemy has left, not how many you, right?
Yeah, but...
Oh, you're saying if the enemy deploys first.
Yeah. If you deploy first against those demons, you deploy everything, he deploys 4 units, and then you get +4 on your roll.
Yeah, okay, that's what you're saying. I thought you were saying the opposite way. I get it.
You always win the draw, right?
So third.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's fine.
Is it even a third?
Because the 4 is drawish, right? If there's a draw, I
don't think it's a third, because if you roll 2/3 of the time, you're going to roll high enough to just beat them straight out, right? And the other third of the time, if you roll a 1, they could still roll a 1. It's a lot lower than that. It's not even close to a third.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, true.
It's not. I think it's like almost like a 1/7 or something. I don't have the math out here. But yeah, so a lot of blazing glories in this tournament. This is 4 so far, and Travis is 1, so 5, making a comeback.
I like the Clubbenhoff's upgrade. Is
that the impacts?
Yeah, and it's so cheap. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
10 points for impact hits.
Do you like Fly for 60?
No.
Yeah, it's like 20% more, and he's already pretty fast on foot. So
yeah,
they're just they're bad against shooting and magic. Just if they go down early.
But the whole army is weak against that. So
that's true. That's true. Just go all in on it, right? These are some aggressive fucking lists, man.
Yeah, but no redirector, so you won't ever get into combats really.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is kind of a gimmick. It's a little gimmicky with the Dark Hide, I think, but
once your opponent has a little bit of shooting and redirectors, you're having a bad time.
Yeah, he's not my pick to win it. How about that? I have no idea who he is. I've never heard of him. So, next list, 2 Dread Elves coming. We thought there'd be none, and now there's 2.
Oh yeah.
So we got the
best army in the game.
I know. Death Kiss guy. I hate people that take random potions of strength because it just potentially screws my fucking portent guy. I hate that fucking item.
No, that guy won't kill him.
I know, I'll kill him first, but it's whatever. Cult of Nav. He has a Wizard Master. Does it have a... Okay, it's here. Occultism guy. With Midnight Cloak on a Pegasus. Interesting. How do you feel about that Oracle for 655?
I'm not sure how much more he gets from putting it under the Pegasus and buying it, the cloak.
Yeah,
I played an Oracle with Occultism on foot with Wandering Familiar, and it worked out fine. Like I could almost always cast the Grave Cards.
Yeah, I mean, you have 18. You basically have 18 inches from where you are. Your move 5 model. You can push up a little. Yeah, I agree. I think you're paying a lot of points for you're paying 210 points to have more range essentially on your Oracle when you could just take a Wandering Familiar and then that 130 points. If you mess around with some stuff, I'm sure you could get something that's a lot stronger than a Pegasus that's outside of a unit.
Like Harpies that you can just put in front of your opponent so you can cast Occultism spells another round.
Then we have some Dark Raiders, some Chaff, some Legionnaires, some Corsairs with paired weapons. I guess scoring. 4 scoring, but they're pretty... I don't know, how do you feel about, do you think... Obviously, you're the Dark Elf a lot better than I am, so a lot of these questions are... If I'm wrong, just tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. But do you feel like these 4 scoring units are not enough in this kind of meta where Or do you think it is enough?
It's enough. It's enough.
Okay.
I think the Corsairs are pretty cheap now. That's fine. Otherwise, like before, you could buy spears for the same points. So I think now you just get the Corsairs because they are a little more tanky. And the Dread Knights are good at scoring as well. But
I like them.
I'm not a fan of the Ravencloaks because they tend to not do a lot, and it's like over 500 points for a little bit of shooting.
And then one magic missile like takes out half your unit.
Yeah, you can just buy like some core blades for those points, and they like deal more damage once they're in combat, and they die as fast but give less points, and you don't have to worry about any panic checks.
Yep. 3 Dread Reapers, always good. Chariot Medusa. Yeah. So Chaff would be solid. What? Dark Raiders, Medusa?
Yeah.
Essentially.
She has enough chaff.
What do you think overall?
I think it's fine. He has no close combat buffs though, and then the Red Legionnaires aren't really good.
That's true. Do you think he's a little slow? Being only had Dread Knights and all his characters are on foot except the Pegasus.
He doesn't have to be fast. He has a lot of shooting and missiling around. So the assassin does a lot of work as well once your opponent comes to you. So I think just his problem is that he doesn't have enough close combat.
So when people get there,
no monsters. He has the Dread Knights who can counter, but they die a lot to missiling and shooting. And then the Corsairs are strength 3. The Red Legionnaires are only at 3. And he has only the Red Prince who gets, I don't know, if you don't put a monster in front of him, he doesn't do much. Like he kills 4 infantry units, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And then your unit runs away because it's bad. And you don't get the +1 to wound blessing, you don't get the reroll 2 wounds anywhere, and with only the Occultism Master, you don't really have enough support. Because I think you want to take all them. Yeah.
4 spells.
When I played
I guess.
Yeah, when I played the Wizard Master on Dragon, I always took them, so I never buffed any close combat.
Yeah, I mean, what buffs do you have? Rot and Ward save are the only 2, right?
Yeah, and the Hereditary, which is reroll to wound, which is kind of fine, but I don't know.
We'll see what happens here. All right.
I don't think this list is good.
Now we have the next Dark Elf list, a big boy list. 2 Hydras, Divine Altar, Blades, shooting in core, just shooting the Reapers outside of core, a Wizard Massive Alchemy. What do you think of this one?
This is solid. Like the spears do so much more than the other spears. It's like they have +1 to wound. They easily can get reroll to wound, and then they just kill almost everything that charges into them. The blades are good as well. I like the blades, especially with all the alchemy support. The auxiliaries are kind of fine. Like they don't do too much, but if you don't expect them to do much, they are okay. The Dread Knights are just cheap. And then there's Chuff. I think only 2 Medusas might not be enough Chuff, because they can't run that fast. Like 14 inches isn't too much. And then they are kind of vulnerable to missiles.
Just people taking them off early and stuff.
1 unit of Harpies would be fine in this list, just to have 1 safe redirector behind the spears for the whole game.
You like the Hydras over Krakens?
Yeah, I prefer Hydras. I don't really like Krakens. They're only good in that list with 3 of them, where you just run at your opponent. But every time else, I prefer Hydras, just because they're solid.
Yeah, no, I like them a lot. I think we might see a lot of Pyro Masters coming up, so I wonder, do you feel like this list is bad versus Pyro? You think it's fine? You think it just depends?
I think it's fine, because you have the Altar and the Hydras who can kind of push against Pyro as well as the Dread Knights. So
that's true.
I think it's fine. It's doing okay.
All right. So you like this list better than the other one?
Yeah. A lot better than the other one.
All right. Empire, Jolo. Can't even fit it all on my screen.
Oh my god.
2
Holy
Griffins,
shit.
Pegasus, Div Master, 5 cav, 4 times 5 cav is scoring. Militia aren't scoring, right? I don't think so.
No, they're light troops.
Light troops, militia, a bunch of rangers. It's basically just like a gun line, right?
Yeah, only shooting and 3 characters on flying guys, and then the wizard master on a horse. I'm not sure why he takes divination.
For demons, man. Dragons.
But
I don't know.
demons just die to the whole army. There's so much shooting. Demons can't do shit against it. I think alchemy and pyro could be better. Alchemy or pyro, both.
What do you think of the style overall?
I like the style. I have something similar in mind when I think about my empire lists, which is like a lot of the characters on Griffins and then some MSU stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This list shouldn't win high, but it shouldn't really lose high as well. It's kind of bad against Pyro Masters and big units.
Yeah,
Because everything burns down so fast.
I'll be interested what matchups it gets and how people play against it. I think you may be right where if somebody just is like, you know what, I'm not gonna fucking deal with this list. I'm just gonna like stay back or something. I wonder if he gets to 20s because then I've seen it in practice games where it gets either really high wins or he gets like obliterated by people. So I think he thinks a lot of matchups are purples, and then it doesn't end up being a purple.
I think like terrain makes a lot of this army. Like once your opponent has a forest where you can just hide in, everything just hits on 6s, and then there's not that much shooting in the end.
Yeah, I think you're right. Where on paper, I'm not saying it's bad list. I think it's cool. But you know, somebody puts a big ass unit behind a wall, and you're like, well, fuck me, right? They're just sitting there, like, you get 6 hits through and 3 wound, and you killed 3 models with your whole army.
Yeah, and then there's just one pyroclastic flow, and your units are dead.
Yeah, those slans are gonna have some fun, right? Just he's like, I have to stop it, or else my whole army dies. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah. All right, highborns. Habib. Don't know who this guy is either. I think he's from Spanish. I think he's from Mexico, but I don't think he played on Team Mexico. So he is with the High Prince with the 5 spells. This is only caster, 2 Griffin guys, 4 block units, and there's 10 Queen's Guard if you didn't see it. But
yeah, they're hiding.
And then 3 Reapers and a Phoenix. No BSB, no div either. So.
But he can heal the Phoenix, but he has only 1 Phoenix. I think this list would really get use of the second Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can't get that in the Griffins in.
Oh, because of the monster points?
Yeah. It's like super low. But the Phoenix is so good with the Cadwick Tower guy because of the what is it called? The Witchcraft flying spell.
Raven's Wing.
And healing waters is good as well on them. I like the healing attribute.
Yeah.
This list can shoot a bit. It can fight a good bit buff. But I'm not sure. I think it's not going to score high because you're too exposed. It doesn't have redirectors.
Do you like rending banners on 20 spears, or do you think it's overkill for the points? I mean, it's his core, but he's exact core, so maybe it doesn't matter.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, what else would you get? More Seaguard would be better. Like for 90 points of the rending banners or 100, you get like 3 Seaguards, which is just better, I think. And the commanders seem kinda expensive.
Their saves aren't that good, right? What is... Yeah. So Demon's Bane is +2 versus magical, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the item of protection is. Is that the D3, the -1 to the multi-wound?
4 up ward save.
That's a 4 up ward save?
Yeah. It gives +2 on the ward save, and Dragonforge armor gives 6 up ward.
Gotcha.
So he has 4 up, and 2 up armor against non-magic stuff. Against magic stuff, sorry.
And the other guy has hard target and 2 up +2 versus non-magical.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you like
So
those
they are
builds?
no.
They don't.
Also, I like that the Griffins deal a lot of damage, so I
Yeah.
think
No.
the commanders on it are fine, but it seems a little too expensive, right? Almost 900 points for 2 Griffins. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
You
an
can
interesting list.
you
And
can
no
get the
BSB, which is like I understand when Furion did it with Div Masters, but this seems like
no buff makes me I don't know. I think, but it can shoot a lot, so
yeah.
maybe it's fine. I think you have to stand in the corner and hope your opponent doesn't just run to you and kill you.
Just walk up and one monster
Yeah,
makes it there and kills your whole army.
yeah.
Yeah, because this guy in the unit is the 700-point Lord is not exactly protected, right?
He has 4 attack strength 6.
All right, that's not bad. But what's his actual save? What's his protection of Dorak thing?
2 up armor save, I think.
Mm-mm.
And +2 on the armor, and he has Dragon Forged armor. Wait, why does he have a shield and a great weapon?
In case he
What?
gets shot, bro.
Ah, okay, I see.
I don't.
Sure, makes sense. Like there's no infantry in the army where he can hide it.
So, what do you think of the list overall? Not in your contender of the
No,
year.
it doesn't. I wouldn't play that.
All right, Infernal Doors, Justin Berge.
Oh, that's kind of his ETC list, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I think it's fine. It's good. It does well in the meta. I think it's good against warriors. It's good against demons with pyromancy. It can shoot a lot. It can kind of fight good as well. With the
Incarnates.
yeah,
That's all that fights, really, right?
yeah, but they're good enough with the alchemy master.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if your opponent makes it through the shooting, you're fucked. But I think it's fine. Should be fine.
You think it'll win big enough, or do you think it might have an issue there?
No, I think it can win. Like
Gotcha.
you can get the scenario even if your like when your opponent hides, you can get the scenario and walk up to him and missile him
Mm-hmm.
off. It's not like you can force 20 zeros, but you can get like 15, 16 points
Mm-hmm.
per game.
Would you be more scared of your opponent running at you or hiding? Like, I understand that sounds like a stupid question, but I'll say a general statement I've heard from some people is they play lists like this or some of the VS lists we're going to see, and they're like, my biggest fear is people just running at me. And they like almost bank on people just hiding from them and taking like the 14, 15-point loss.
I think this list hates armies that are just not running at them and shooting at them because it's so low range.
Mm-hmm.
I think like just armies that can like shoot 30 inches and have reapers like highborn elves would do fine against this.
Gotcha. There's only one highborn elf, so we don't have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, and he doesn't have much shooting on 30 inches.
Yeah, so good list for the meta. I guess we'll see when we get down to like the warriors and stuff how they line up. But he's a contender, a big one, right? I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Kingdom of Aquitaine, the only KOE here. We got 2 hippos, the druidism master, of course. Are you down with the druidism master? Everyone takes it, but I was curious if you had any different opinions.
Yeah, I would take that as well.
Yeah, I agree. No BSB. How do you feel about that?
Seems wrong. Without divination, it seems wrong.
He has no. Everything's like immune to psych, man.
But no, I'm not sure. I think you still need the BSB.
Yeah, I think it's like what your Grails get charged and they have to take 1 stubborn check, and they're like, "Well, I rolled a 9 or 10." And
Yeah,
I broke.
yeah.
No, I agree.
Sometimes you have to be stubborn against like monsters. It's good to be steadfast.
Rerollable steadfast even.
Yeah,
I agree. You run the risk of like, yeah, you're not going to panic, right? Even though he has 2 Knights of Realms and aspirants can all panic from shooting. He actually has a lot of things that can panic now that I look at it.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of the Knights of the Grail. just like if they don't charge, they're bad. And if they charge and don't break through, they're bad as well. So
You like questing better?
yeah, I like questing knights better.
I like scorpions a lot. I think they're good to take 2 of them.
I think so as well. They're not expensive, and the multi-bonus is good. Like the extra wound they do.
Yeah. For 115, bucket they just control the board, right? There's probably gonna be a lot of games where they hit nothing, but
Yeah,
they make people hide. That's what I think people don't realize. Like they're like, oh, I hate these things. They never hit anything. And I'm like, but I had to hide half my army because of it, or had use terrain differently. Because if he doesn't have the scorpions, you can put a monster just like wherever you want, right? You're not worried about anything because there's nothing that can. I mean, obviously hippos and stuff can come get it and charging, but you can deal with that as needed.
Yeah, every cowboy is just so good against this list when there's no scorpions.
What do you like the Duke setup? I mean, I think like this list revolves around the Dukes, right? Has to.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they do. They both have 2-up armor save rerollable, I think.
Crusader Salvation is reroll 1s, or is that Tristan's Resolve?
No.
Tristan's Resolve is where you destroy items.
Tristan's Resolve destroys magical items, yeah. And Crusader's Salvation is +1 armor and reroll armor saves, and you can still get the 5-up ward save.
Gotcha. So they're both rerollable. I guess Dustcourge, you gotta. One thing with Dustcourge on Bretonnians that actually sucks is you can't take your ward save and your armor save.
Yeah, but against the strength, like against armor penetration 10, you can still use your ward save. So
of course, I understand that, but it's like there is something there where you have to remember that, where it's like you're not 2+2+, or like 4+4+5+. You're 4+4+ nothing.
Yeah.
Like against some APs, it's just as good as nothing.
Yeah. But the Crusader Salvation is like
the better
gets you the ward save as well.
So he has a Blessed Inscription, and he has Renown, which is the D3 one. That's a pretty nice one.
Yeah, I like that one.
And the other one has Valor, which is the challenge one, so you can get rid of items, but he's not the fightiest after the fact, right? He's kind of.
I'm not sure. Tristan's Resolve is +1 strength.
So I think he's 4 strength 5.
Yeah, that's not too impressive. And the Hippogriff is 4 strength 5 as well, or 6. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
But it's okay-ish. But wait, how much do they cost?
Total?
Yeah.
Probably like 500 each or so. 1, 2, 3, 4. No,
for 500 they're okay-ish.
They're like 600 each.
Yeah, 600 is it's a lot. The second guy doesn't seem like he's worth 600 points.
Yeah, the second guy is like 550.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our army relies on them, right? Because if you look at the rest of the army, you're not exactly like super scared of it. I'm
not sure. The Green Knight, the Ben of the Last Charge Knights, and the Grail Knights. Yeah. But as long as you don't get charged by those units, you're fine.
Yeah. I guess that's maybe I was going for. It's a nice list. It's fast. It's breadth.
Yeah, I think it's okay-ish.
We'll see how. I'm curious, like the stories afterwards, where he's like, "I failed my stubborn check," and then I'll be like, "I don't feel bad for you."
The Outriders trying to shove anything with terror, and they just ran off because leadership 9.
Yeah. All right. Next list. Ogres. One ogre list here. Man, we are really got one of a lot of things. All right. So triple mammoth. This looks what? Good? Bad? People were shitting on it. I don't think it's that bad. Maybe
this looks just like the common ogre list with Wild Heart now. Like 2 Aurochs, 4 Tusker, Tribesmen, and then some Mammoth Hunters.
And 3 Saber Tusks.
Yeah.
I at least like to see no cannon for myself, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's Wild Heart. It's for warriors, this is fine, because you can just missile down everything and just avoid the Rock Auroch.
You can what everything?
Missile down everything. Like, just alchemy missiles are good.
That's true.
This is solid army. It's fine. I guess this will do fine.
The player might be an issue.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Paired weapons and Iron Fist seems like a bit much on the tribesmen. I'm not sure if they need paired weapons. I'm not sure if you have to pay for them though. I think they're for free, so it doesn't matter.
Gotcha. Oh, here, yeah.
Oh, this looks solid.
Yeah.
It's nothing special, though.
I'll give you that. Yeah, we'll see how it does. I people were like crapping on it. I think it's fine. Maybe it's because it's Brandon playing it. If it runs the normal pattern, he'll 20-0 2 people and then lose the next 3 games.
The Tuskers are so expensive with the
banner.
The banner. Sure, I think 3 Tusker without anything are like 450 points, 480 points. I think it's enough.
Mm-hmm.
It does almost the same. But if they get the charge with the banner, they are insane.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he has 3 chaff, bunch of little models. Got to play well versus it. Got to play with it well. You got to be able to do the movement right with all your.
Yeah, it's an exciting game against that list. Like it's always you have to play Warhammer and not just stand around.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have orcs. James Silva. Oh yeah, that list.
So I like the trolls.
Is that you went right there? Do you like the only magic being a pyromancy guy?
Not really, no. I think orcs can have such a nice magic face, and this
is not it.
Yeah.
See the 2 gargantuans.
So you have 1 forest king on the Gargantula with dragon staff instead of magic resistance, which I don't understand. Why? Yeah, why wouldn't you just take magic resistance 2 on that model? It's just better.
Because he can do 2d6 strength 3 AP 0 to somebody.
Yeah, because the Gargantula doesn't kill every infantry instantly.
I don't. Listen, you're talking. I didn't make the list.
Yeah, and the common goblins, like he has so much strength 3 and strength 4 AP 0 stuff. He doesn't need another dragon stuff.
Yeah, I don't understand. If you're gonna take a pyromancy guy, like it's just so redundant to take a dragon staff, probably.
Yeah.
I would like to see another mage that has a different lore.
Yes, I agree. Or
like
just
one.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say just something like a shamanism guy or something.
Yeah, I would just take a shamanism apprentice on the chariot. That would help the list a lot.
Yeah. 20 bows that are skirmishing.
Yeah, he played that a lot, right? The 20 forest goblins with just the BSB and the mage in there. I think it's fine. They can. They don't panic away with the banner of discipline. Then they are just mobile. They are fine. I think I like those guys.
Mm-hmm.
The 2x20 common goblins, I'm not sure. Like for 358 points, you could get a lot better stuff in the car.
What's his scoring? The Ed Bashers and the 2 common goblins?
Yes.
Oh, that's not a lot.
It's not a. Yeah. Doesn't score well. He has 1 unit of raiders as chef. That's not that much as well, considering you can get good chef with the Grotlings and just core guys, like core raiders are good as well. If you just get 8, you get chef for 170 points from core instead of 3 hits, strength 3 every round from the bows.
So you're not the biggest fan of this list.
No, it doesn't have enough chef. What I don't understand the web launcher as well, but I like the cave trolls. I like the chariots, like the 3. I like the bunker for the characters, and 2 Gargantulas is good as well. But the rest is a bit wacky.
Yeah, it has some power to it, but I don't know how. It's not my. I don't predict it to do amazing in this tournament.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's okay. Like it won't do bad because pyromancy can against elves just do a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, next orc list, a little bit different. We have a shaman adept, a thaumaturgy master, a common orc on a chariot with fucking potion of strength. Fuck that item. 2 common goblin apprentices on wolves with, I'm guessing they're chaff/spells, which is pyro and witchcraft aren't bad spells to have, having a raven's wing and a fireball.
Yeah.
Big Ed Bashers, some boars, some goblins, some gnashers. What do you think, Spotters?
This looks fine. The fighting, he can also missile, like a lot of shooting and missiles.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good amount of chaff with the 2 goblin witch doctors, which can hide in units. I like the ball riders just as chaff. I would prefer them to be savage orcs.
Yeah, feral orcs.
So you can don't have to panic away from the scenario.
Yeah, because he only has 4 scoring, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a problem that his orcs, his characters all have to go in basically the 1 unit?
I think it's fine. But he could buy magic resistance for that unit so he doesn't get sniped.
I don't think the second Green Tide banner is really worth it. He has 1 on the BSB and 1 on the unit.
Yeah.
You're getting 5 attacks, but there's a good chance with your initiative agility that you're just not even going to have those models there anymore. I don't know how many you have to lose to actually lose attacks though, but maybe it's fine.
Yeah, and you want to he has paired weapons on that unit, so he doesn't want to stay 5 wide. He wants to go wider, so he has more attacks from those paired weapons.
Mm-hmm. I think I would have, if you put that Feral Orc Green Tide into 2 Aether icons and the MR 2, that'd be really nice.
Yeah. Then the whole army is way better. Because the common orcs, the Adbashers are dying to fires, pyromancy. The characters are dying to the evocation.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the snipes. It's just for the 5 strength 5 attacks, you might as well just get yourself survive a little bit from magic.
Yeah, I agree.
Besides that, I like Binding Scroll, Scepter of Power on a Thama guy. The whole 3 dice comets, which are 60-some% on a master, and then you can always throw the extra die if you need it. It's so scary to play against that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So he had a much more aggressive list the week before Masters, and I think when I say aggressive, I mean he had a Shamanism level 4. He didn't have any missiles and he had no splatterers. And I think just adding the 2 splatterers and the thaumaturgy guy really takes some of the matchups where it's maybe my army could run around you because you have no missiles and no shooting, to now where I have to be careful because, again, the splatterers might not hit, but they do, when they do hit, they can do some damage. And the threat, people don't appreciate the threat of things, of it's just sitting there and being all right, you have a dragon, hide from this because you might take D3 wounds on a 50% chance or something.
Yeah. Also, they're pretty cheap.
165?
65 points. 50 points more than the ballistas from the KOE guy.
Yeah. But if you face elves and you get 1 hit and you hit 16 guys and kill 4 or 5, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I like this. I like this list. It's would you say it's blocky or no?
A little, but it's fine.
Yeah, I would say the Great Green Idol. I love that thing. I hate playing against it, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just Resistance 8 is just so obnoxious. Unless maybe it's because I play an army that doesn't have I have a lot of Strength 5 and 6, so it's just I pay points for nothing essentially.
I mean, I played Red Elf, so the idol isn't a problem.
Yeah, well, because you have what Witch Elves and what just because you have so many attacks with +1 to wound, and then it doesn't matter.
+1 to wound is enough.
Fucking Dread Elves. Yeah, I like this orc list better.
I like this. Yeah, I agree.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
What would you like?
Maybe 1 or 2 monsters.
He used to have 2 giants, but he dropped them for
I mean, real monsters and not giants.
No, what are real monsters? He has a green idol. What more do you want?
Yeah, more. Like a Gargantula would be fine, but it's fine like this. The Nasher heads could be smaller.
I could see 1 Nasher becoming a Gargantua to kind of soften how wide the army has to be.
Yeah.
I think that would actually, because it's not scoring anyway, so might as well. Because the movement of single models is so great. You have the witchcraft. 35 Nashers is enough threat versus things that. Because right now he's running what? You're probably running 8 wide Nashers. Your Ed Basher's got to be potentially pretty wide. Your Orcs. Like, if you put this army on the board, I'm sure it's fucking huge left to right.
Yeah, it is.
And then if you get out of your BSB range, does the BSB have 18 inches? No, right?
No,
12.
Oh.
So he's pretty much 12 inches, and that's a problem, right? You get a Nasher herd out there, and it loses by 1, and it's like steadfast 5, and it just dies.
Yeah. Yes.
Or the same with the Orc boars. They take 2 wounds and they fucking run, and then your scoring's gone. That's why I like Feral. Yeah, because I like Feral too, because you might be frenzy baited, but at least when you go in, you're like doing some damage. Like this unit does not do like any damage coming in my opinion, but not as much as I'd want it to do.
Yeah.
All right, next list. We got 2 lizardmen. I know you are a Soaring Ancient fan, right?
Yeah. They're good. Right. I like them.
So they're pretty similar in my opinion. We'll start with Caps' list, which is the Alchemy Pyro guy, 2 vets, 1 being a warlord, a bunch of skinks in core, 1's a Cayman unit, 2 Ramphidon units, 2 Stegodons, and a Stygiosaur to help with the magic.
I think this is fine. I'm not. The 21 skinks with the 2 Caymans are cheap, but they don't do much. Like, they're good against characters because the Caymans can just kill them and the characters can't hit the Caymans.
Yeah.
But against everything else, 2 Caymans will just instantly die, and then you have 21 Skink Braves who can't do anything.
And they don't come with javelins, right? They don't even get to shoot.
No. They have shields. That's all. But like I played the bigger unit with 3 Caymans, and it happened to me a lot as well. That
people just went in and killed the
Caymans,
and then you're a bunch of skinks.
Yeah. And then I resurrected the Caymans, and then they could fight again, but he doesn't have that. What else? I like everything. I like the Raptor guys are fine. The Quadlord is just solid. He has a lot of magic. He can fight well with the 2 Stegodons and the Ramphidons. And he has like the Skingbrave are kind of fine as chaff and shooting, and the 3 Ramphidons can chaff as well.
Scoring an issue, or more of just kill everything with your big models and then have your little guys pick up the objectives at the end?
I think it's like pushing everything forward, and then the Skinks have to somehow get the objective in the end.
Gotcha. So, like the list, don't like the list, compared to what you've seen?
This looks good. We had something similar for our Sovereign Ancient guy.
Alright. Next list. Lenny's. Similar to Caps's. I mean, he has a couple different things, but it's essentially Cowboys, Slan, Stags. And then he doesn't take Ramphidon Riders, he takes a bunch of chaff in his Skink Hunters and Chameleons. He takes an extra Stag instead of the Stygiosaur. And I think his Stag is a little bit more, it's +2 to cast, so maybe a little bit more, and another spell, so a little more casty, but it doesn't have the extra range like the Stygiosaur gives. So, thoughts on this one?
I think I like this a little bit better. Because he has 3 Pterosaurs and he has way more chaff and poison shooting. But his veteran, since he doesn't have the Warlord, and I think the Warlord is a big upgrade, just because the 1 extra attack helps a lot often. Yeah, I like the Grasp of the Immortal Slan. It's super strong. Though neither of them took break-off spells, which I like. I think it's pretty good. But this list, we for a German guy, we had 1 unit of Saurian warriors as well, just to have 1 solid core unit and not just Skinks as scoring.
So you like this one more?
Yeah, I think I like this one more.
Is it good for the meta, you think?
I think the Tyrannosaurs are very good against a lot of stuff, and the Stygiosaur is not that less expensive, but he has like way less tough.
Yeah.
Toughness 5, toughness 6, and 5 wounds and 6 wounds. Like 4 wounds and 5 wounds. I mean, it's a big difference, and he has way less damage. And I don't think the buffing makes such a big difference. But this one doesn't need a lot of buffs.
Do you think it's got to go forward, or just can it hang back just fine?
I think this is pushing your opponent into the corner. Is what it's trying to do. I'm not sure if you can get that all the time, though. But the veterans and the Vanguard guys can give you a lot of room to work. I think this should work well.
All right. Silvan elves. We got 2 Silvan elves, right? Yeah, 2 Silvan elves, both treeless, so not sure what there is to say.
Another ancient wizard master. So he has 1 big tree, 1 casting tree, and then a normal tree. 5 thicket beasts with the BSB in it.
They're scoring, right? They're scoring. Right?
Yeah, they're scoring. Though it doesn't say scoring, the dryads. Oh yeah, because you can choose between scoring and not scoring.
Yeah, I always wondered why it said that, but now I know why.
Yeah.
So he has 5 scoring.
5? Oh yeah, the archers are scoring as well. Yeah, true. I think the Silvan archers aren't needed. I think you should just like put big dryad units in there.
I think 15 they should be bigger than that.
Yeah, because they can kill off stuff, and they like 15 can't really contest scenarios against anything a little bit bigger, but 24 can like stand on the scenario. They are stubborn. Sorry, not stubborn. They are fearless. They have a 5 board save and toughness 4, so you can just put them on the scenario, and your opponent has to do all the work to get them away from it.
Are you telling me that this list isn't finessey?
No. But I think it's okay.
Alright, so then we got another one, very similar, except it has big-ass dryads and big thicket beasts, and it basically loses the Kestrel Knights. Even more blocky, even more just, I have 8 units.
I will push at you. Yeah, I think this is fine. What does the Oaken Crown do? Crown?
I think it's like a musician.
I think he has to buy that for 20 points.
He has no points. What's he going to drop?
Champion, the Dryads.
He's main core, right?
Yeah, he is. I don't know. The Sacred Seed, maybe?
I don't know what that does, actually. But
I think it's an extra tree, an extra forest, maybe?
Yeah.
True. I mean, it's fine with the thicket beasts. You can get
stubborn in it.
Stubborn in it, yeah.
What do you think of the list? Good, bad, bad for the meta, good for the meta?
I think it's a good list, but it's not that good in the meta with the warriors running around. I'm not sure how many warriors you have.
There's 6, but there's only 2 portents.
Oh, okay. But I think alchemy is taken a lot currently, so it's kind of weak against that. But else, I like it.
Are dryads flammable?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they are not, but the other units are.
Yeah, I was thinking for pyro, but pyro sucks for a thicket beast because they have what, a 3-up, 5-up?
4-up, 5-up, I think.
Whatever, still good.
Yeah.
All right, treeless. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, they are not special. They're just tree lists.
So why don't you? So I got a question for you. There's something that came up in USA talk a lot is why no one at ETC runs treeless.
Because they have some really bad matchups, and if you get paired into that, like in the pairings, you want to avoid those matchups. And if you have an army that has like 3 0 matchups because it just gets killed. I think it's not good to take that. But I'm not sure. There should be someone taking it.
We'll
At
see how
least
it.
one 3 list next ET.
Yeah, we'll see how it does this year, right? In the Masters.
Yeah.
All right, Vermin Swarm. Ugh, the worst. Ugh. We have to go through 4 of them. Ugh. All right, let's start with the first one. A Doomblade guy, another general, MR4 BSB, which I like. Does he have MR4? Where's that? Oh, he doesn't take Obsidian armor? I'm looking around. Does he not have Obsidian?
Doesn't look like it.
What the fuck, Jeremy? How hard is it to put Obsidian rock on your fucking... on a guy? Fucking noob.
He doesn't have the... So he has paired weapons and Swarm Master, so he wants his BSB to stand in the front row.
Instead of taking the thing that lets him sit... Well, he can sit behind like a lot of the characters.
Yeah, but he isn't... He didn't buy the meat grinder.
Oh, he didn't? Oh.
Yeah, he forgot to buy that. To put in, like, I guess everything goes into the Red Arms, right?
I would assume so. But without the meat grinder, then he kind of... he can only put... Well, he can put his characters in the back and he can have the Doom Lord and the other Chief Tyrant in front, I guess.
Are they on the litters?
Oh, one is. No. One is. It doesn't have... Oh, it doesn't even have... what the fuck? The Hero's Heart version. Oh. Well, that's not as exciting.
Yeah, I think the meat grinder would help the Red Arms block. I like this list though. Like, it has a lot of shooting. It's mobile. You have the brick that can fight with almost everything. Is steadfast for eternity, and has a lot of damage with the machinists and the meat grinder.
Fucking vermins. I hate these shits.
1 lightning cannon and 1 catapult. I'm not sure. I think you need 2 lightning cannons without the doom wheels.
For the multi-wound guys, I guess he's guessing Giselles and Grenadiers are supposed to do it.
But you can play around those. You can't play around.
Can't play around the cannon. All right. What do you think overall?
I think this looks solid, but it can go downhill pretty fast. But I think it shouldn't. I think you can do fine. This is a good list. I like it.
All right, next one. Double A-bomb, double lightning cannon, plague disciples, magic, a doom bell. Ooh.
I like the doom bell. But he doesn't have the +1 leadership.
Nope. So what's his leadership? 6?
Yeah. Chief BSB without the scepter that he can stand anywhere in the list. I think he needs that. Vermin guard with the lightning rod. Yeah, I'm not sure. This. I'm not sure about the big disciples.
Can't believe they're only 300 points for that, but.
Yeah, but 8 should, like 8 are fine as well. You can get like 4 times 8 almost for those points, I think. They're like 170, 180, something like that.
Can you even have 4 units?
I'm not sure. I'm not playing that disgusting list. Yeah, I like the abominations. They are pretty cheap.
Yeah. A-bombs are so cheap.
Yeah. The lightning cannons aren't that expensive as well. And they hit, like, they have 4-up aim, and they are...
Yeah, well, sounds fair.
And they are accurate. They are accurate, so I like that.
No, but they're only strength 7.
Yes, they are, but...
I'm just talking like the Vermin Sword players say stuff. Like it matters. I'm only strength 7. Fucking Vermin Sword players.
Well, you're not good against the idol.
I know, that's true. Idol fucking walk up and smack you.
Yeah. Unless it dies to anything else in the list.
Next one.
This looks solid as well. I think Vermin Swarms are pretty strong right now.
Mm-hmm.
They
I wonder.
nerfed some stuff, but they buffed a lot of stuff as well,
Yeah.
and now they're just as they were before, kinda.
And now they don't have UD to kind of fuck them up.
Yeah, true. Though they did okay-ish against them.
You think they did okay versus UD? They got smacked at ECC versus UD all the time.
Yeah, but they didn't die 0-20, which is kind of
Are you
good against
serious?
UD.
I'm pretty sure. Yours
Our
maybe.
Vermin Swarm didn't die 0-20.
A lot of Vermin Swarms died 0-20 or like below 4.
But now this matchup is like way better against UD for them.
Well, yeah, well, poor them, right?
But neither of them took the pendulum.
Yeah, I don't think there's any pendulums in this.
And pendulum is still fucking insane.
Next one, Keith's list. Oh, I guess okay. They have a Obsidian Rock on the Magister. There we go.
Oh.
And Scepter of Power, which I like. Oh, the Obsidian Rock's on the Plague Patriarch, which is nice. I think for 180, you get MR, you get a nice. You can fucking take Graves Calls if you want. It doesn't say. I'm guessing he's an apprentice because it doesn't say. It also doesn't say. It doesn't also say occultism, which it should, I guess. But
oh yeah, true.
I know that's all he can take, right? Anyway, but
yeah, I think so.
He has the Tyrant with the Hero Heart's Death Cheater, and he has a Doomblade guy on foot.
A little bit like the other.
Yeah, it's close to Jeremy. Right? Yeah, it's like Jeremy's. I think he takes better items than Jeremy does, but that's I don't know. I like the Scepter of Power. I like the MR2. I like the Hero's Heart thing. But yeah, Jeremy had two of those rat machinist guys. So
yeah, I think he misses them. He didn't forget to buy the meat grinder though.
Yeah, he actually has that. He has foot pads for scoring. Looking real quick back at Jeremy, he had 4 scoring. He's fine. Gutter Brunners. Do you like Gutter Blades?
I'm not sure. Are those the poison guys? Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think throwing weapons are good if you want to use the poison, right? Like,
I guess the range. I guess the range was an issue, but
yeah, maybe. Well, they are expensive. 6 guys for 150 points. It's a lot.
2 cannons, 2 A-bombs, a Napa launcher, and a
The rest seems solid.
Yeah.
It's shooty. It's fine. I think it's okay. It's a Vermin list. It's nothing special. But still no pendulum.
Yeah, no pendulum on any of them. So then we have the last list.
With the Plague Patriarch, but he didn't buy it.
he was almost there, 50% of the way. Now we got Homer's list. Played 300 times probably by now.
At least.
Vermin Demon. So the only Vermin Demon we got.
Yeah.
A monstrous rat guy, a Magister with Witchcraft, so he essentially just Dark Shards 4 or 5 dice, wheel turns. It's like his trick with it. So like if you're fighting the Rat at Arms with like a monster and you're like, this is gonna go great, and then you gotta watch out for that. 32 Rat Arms with Rending, Giant Rats, Footpads, Hulks, Dreadmills. He's the only Dreadmill guy too, which is obviously annoying. This is more typical to what was taken back in the day, right? This is pretty much a lot of the shit that was taken. Maybe not, yeah, but then he doesn't have the pendulum, which was common.
Yeah. What I don't like is the BSB on the guy with 2 up armor save and only with Ghostly Guard. But he has a lot of damage. I like the Chief on the Monstrous Red just as a... Oh, he has 4 up regen as well, right?
Yeah, he's regen.
So, against Pyro and Alchemy, he's not that good, though.
Yeah, I mean, Pyro, you can kill him in a couple spells. He's got to hide him, right? He has 18-inch BSB at least, so...
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe it's fine, but... I like him without the BSB upgrade, just as a 410-point monster. Like, if you compare it to a Hydra, he's just way better than a Hydra.
That's true.
But
do you like this list?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It doesn't have that much shooting, just the Dreadnoughts and the Plague Catapult.
So, as far as Vermin Swarms in general, it feels like they've always been pretty good, and people get scared of them and stuff, and then sometimes they just kind of do mediocre. Do you think? Because even in the Polish tournament that just happened, they did average. They were like whatever. Do you think it's just people playing defensive against them in like team tournaments, or what do you think it is?
I'm not sure. I've never had problems with Vermin's one. I always just kill them. But I guess people are scared of them because it always looks like a lot of shooting. But if you just shoot back, it also dies fast, and then the games can even out pretty fast.
Yep.
And they often have stuff that is pretty risky, like the pendulum and the vermin demon.
Mm-hmm.
They are big points, and they are like not that tanky if you start shooting at them.
Yeah, I think sometimes people don't take shots at them because like they average maybe half a wound or a wound, but then if you take the shots and you spike high and you get 2, and then it's so risky to keep the guy out there any longer.
Yeah, once he takes like 2 or 3 wounds, the vermin demon is like super scared to do anything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people play the vermin demon, and he's bad against like divination.
Yeah, there's not much div at this tournament, but that's good for him.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a lot of div anymore anywhere.
It's gonna make a comeback because everyone's gonna fucking take monsters, and then all the div people will be like, "Well, I should take it again."
Yeah, but it's so the values are too high.
All right, we're finally made it past the vermin swarms.
Yay!
All right, Undying Dynasty is the one UD player that still thinks the book might be okay enough to play in a tournament. I'll let you comment on this.
So he has an adept with the book, an evocation master with hourglass. I think that's pretty good because you can still heal with 2 dice. You just can't take divination anymore. I think that's all that changed for UD.
The value is just too high.
Yeah, but I think you just take like the evocation master and the Cosmo adept, and you're still fine.
I like his magic setup a lot. I do like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. Then he has the Pharaoh, who I'm not sure what he's supposed to do.
Wait, he has a great aspen bow. The fuck does that do?
I think just strength 5.
It's just like a
okay.
I guess he had 15 points. Oh, I think he had to get 5 points in his list, so he dropped a musician and then added that item.
Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah, because you're going to look at the shop D with the Rending Banner do not have a musician.
Huh.
So he's 29.
I'm not sure about that guy. That guy has no unit to get into, right? He's on foot.
He's going to join... He's not on a horse?
No, he's on foot.
Oh, shit, he was on a horse versus me, so that's why I'm like thinking about it. Oh, he changed it. Because he didn't want to put it in the shop D. I liked him in new shop D. Maybe he dies too easily. Oh, he doesn't have... Oh, man, he doesn't have the save anymore. Okay, oh, he's Destiny's Call. Yeah, he was on Destiny's Call on a horse.
Maybe the horse isn't... He just forgot to ride it.
No, I think he didn't take it in this list. I'm pretty sure it's not in there.
So the Pharaoh was either in the archers, who are not supposed to fight, I think.
Or the warriors, man.
The warriors. But 20 warriors? What the fuck? They just... die.
I'm not 100% if he's not on a horse. Okay, if he's on a horse, does it really change if you think this list is good or not? Maybe it does.
No, I think the rest of the list doesn't look that good.
Yeah, and I'm looking
2 scouts and the small. I'm not sure about the small chappies. I never saw them. Maybe they are doing fine, but they don't have any weapons, right? They are just.
No, they're just 3 strength 5 each.
Wow. And the HLP7 don't have any weapons either?
Nope.
Why?
Points?
But
listen, you don't need to tell me.
I think it's a bit like with the Darkhide list that is just lacking the crucial upgrades to make the units good.
Yes, and now you're stuck with a bunch
without paired weapons are like just not as good because weapon skill 4 isn't good. You can get like people can just parry you, and you have like 4 or lose 2 on 4 attacks, which is not too good for you. I like the small units of chariots though.
The one unit,
especially with evocation and cosmology, because you can either get strength 5 impact hits or lethal strike impact. with the reroll 2 wound.
Yeah, I like his character. I don't know about the Destiny's Call guy. I like the other 3 characters. I think he feels like he has nice buffs and magic. He needs more units to actually fucking put the spells on.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Like, just make cut 1 unit of Shopties or both, and just get stuff that can fight.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to do in this meta.
I don't think it will do too good. This
I think if they were, I wanted him to take 2x8 Shabdi archers and kind of play this more like shooty counterpunch snipe type list, but I thought that would have been okay.
Sure. I think the second architect would be fine in this list as well, because you want 5 up region on the Shopties and on the Doomcrat effects. Especially.
Oh, you cut out. Especially what?
Especially since you can't heal that good anymore.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. That's all I can say.
I don't think this list will perform well.
Good luck, Phil.
Probably 60 points out of 6 games.
It's 5 games, so 50 points.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. 60, and I know the. All right, vampires. Chris Mintz's list. Australia version, right? Did Australia take this last year, or was he just thinking about it? I've seen the Food Monster guy play this type of list.
Like 2018, he brought something with 2 counts on horses.
So what do you think of it?
That was fine. He had vampire spawns though, and not dark coaches, and I think that's better. I'm not sure.
I know Thomas's opinion was that it's going to crush bad players, and then it might struggle versus like the better players. Because you just walk up if you don't know how to play against them, you just walk up the vampires and stuff. Like one thing I think people need to look out for is like, and I see this a lot even with that 5 Griffin high elf list is, you know they're going to vanguard their dogs and turn them to a side in front of you. Make it so you don't like block 8 units with it when it happens. That's one thing I've seen a lot. But anyways,
yeah. I think he doesn't have that much magic, and I think that's gonna like, if people don't just die to it, then the lack of magic will be the problem. But the characters are strong. He has a little bit of scoring and some fighting stuff. I think the lack of magic is really a problem when the opponent isn't dead in round 3 already.
So we'll see what happens, right? It's a go get you list. It's not going to sit there and get points for sure.
That's true.
It's not his snipe list.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, next list. I don't even know what to say about this list, but
it's a better scribe list.
A Barrow King, a Necromancer Adept, a Necromancer Adept on Evo, a Necromancer Adept on... It has 3 Adepts, Witchcraft, Evo, and Alchemy.
Yeah.
Has a Barrow King on foot. It has a Vampire on foot.
It's on foot?
They're all on foot.
Yeah, but why is the Barrow King on foot?
Because he goes in the 15 Barrow Guard with +1 to hit, man.
Huh.
Or he goes in the 47 skeletons. I mean, have you read this list before?
No.
Oh, then just read the rest of it, and then you can make your decision.
Okay. So, necromantic stuff. So he's just gonna stand there and put his zombies to 80.
Yep.
And his skeletons to big units, and then he's just gonna stand there, give them +1 to hit, give them weapon skill 5, and wait till the game is over.
I could see, unless he really does try to move up and try to be fancy, that this list just doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it sometimes can win the scenario, but it's vulnerable if your opponent just walks around you and get like monsters into your flanks. It's pretty slow.
Yeah.
So I think it often, like, you will think that it gets hold the ground in all those scenarios, but I think in the end you have to corner a little bit more, just so to avoid getting just flanked everywhere. Because he doesn't have any chap, right?
He does. He has 2 bats.
Oh, they're on the next page. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't understand
yeah,
the 3-man ghast units, but
oh, I like them. They are super cheap and they are super tough. And for a region, sometimes
they're not scoring, right?
No, they're not scoring.
160.
Like
That's
them.
actually pretty nice.
Yeah, they're okay. Like with the cadaver wagon, it's just a boring list. It looks like a super boring list.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he takes witchcraft though. For the wheel turns? Only for that?
He's gonna fly his barrel guard in front of you.
The 15 guys.
Duh.
Yeah, makes sense.
I didn't buy musician for him. Oh, that's interesting. No champion or musician on your barrel guard?
Musicians are overrated.
He doesn't have a musician on his skeletons?
Musicians are overrated. But on the small units, he has
musicians.
Yeah,
well. Why take it on the giant unit that you probably want to reform? Might as well take it on that one. Jeez. Oh, come on, man.
So he's even worse when the opponent is in his flank because he can't even turn around.
Jesus.
And walk.
Alright, moving on. I'm done with this.
This doesn't look good.
Alright. First Warriors list of 6. They're all decently different, so that's at least good.
So he has.
So he's a Doom Lord. I'm assuming the dexterity is supposed to be on the halberd, but not the hand weapon. It was just a.
Oh yeah.
It was just a.
Yeah.
New recruit thing. Immortal Gauntlets is pretty nice. Weird Stone. Yeah. Rerollable 1-up with Strength 6 with offensive 9, AG, whatever.
8. Offensive 8 and agility 6, 8, something like that.
He's offense 7 base.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 7/6.
Oh yeah,
Lord's 8/7.
Oh. Yeah.
It's.
But he has only 4 force 1, so he can't really use the stubbornness.
Yeah, and I don't like that because if you face like a repeater bolt thrower and they just start single shotting into you and being like, all right, well I hit your Doom Lord and you have no ward save and then you die in 2 hits potentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I think you need at least 6 if you're going to be running that unit. A sorcerer, an alchemy guy with Hero's Heart.
Wait, he forgot to buy the Helmar.
Oh, you're going to hear that a lot. By the way, you're going to see. this is going to be a theme.
Why would you play warriors though?
You can ask the other people about that. Especially, I'll say like there's Jeremy's list has a bunch of monsters, so I could see why you didn't buy it. But like this one, like feels like it would be really good with the Helmar, right?
Yeah, the Doomlord bus is so slow without any banners of speed and without any portals.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down with you on that one. So he's an alchemy guy who forgot to buy Veilwalker.
Which is fine because he's not warping around, so.
Is that fine? Don't you want to have Veilwalker if you're not warping?
Yeah, I think so.
But don't worry, he can fight, so that's important.
Okay, true.
Sorry, Alex. I like this guy too. There's little things in this list where I'm just like, oh, come on. Chosen Lord with Shieldbreaker. Envy. Interesting. Which I don't like. He can only go in
alchemy master already, so you can all just take the part and.
I don't like that he's Envy because he can only hide in the 5 chosen. Again, he has 1 unit to go in.
Yeah.
He can't even go in the Sloth Warriors. Like, why make him Sloth if he can't go? Just if those warriors were normal warriors and just had a couple more bodies, and then the Lord could go in it with the Mage, with the Icon, Battle Shrine, that'd be a tough unit. But, like, the Lord can only hide in, like, 5 Envy Chosen with Halberds, and then you get hit by, like, a fucking monster, and it, like, stomps your Chosen off, and you're like, oh, I'm not stubborn anymore. Oh, and I have Shieldbreaker, so I do 3 wounds to you, or 2 wounds to the monster, and then you die. Sorry.
Do the Sloth Warriors, can they march? Like, do they have toughness 5 if they march?
Yeah, I think you have to go over 10 inches, so they're fine.
Oh, okay.
Or you could portal across the board and you can still get toughness 5, but you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. That sounds unfair. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't take. See, if he took a portal and he took Portent, he couldn't take Portent because he doesn't have his Doomlord's the general, so he couldn't take 3 fallen units if that was the
Oh.
case. So
You can just
checkmate,
give him
Atheist.
Portent, Lucky Charm, Potion of Swiftness, What Ice is fine.
Does not fit. You only have 150 points. Portent takes up everything.
Wait, isn't it only 135? Whatever,
Yeah,
just give him Portent and the War Dice and he's fine.
Yeah, I don't think you need Envy in this. Oh, you need Envy to keep up with the 5 chosen you bought, so okay. Like I actually like a lot of little things in this list. It's just I feel like he spread himself very thin with like the Forsworn and the 5 chosen.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you could have dropped this Greed Chariot potentially, or the Flayers, because you have. I know the Flayers are good and you like the Chaff, but he has 3 Chaff. I know they're slower too in the core, but I feel like something should have been dropped like that for.
Fit a portal in there. What?
Well, I mean the Forsaken one is a portal if you just want it to be that, but
yeah, that's true.
But like even one of the other units, right? Even if that was a portal for the Hellmaw, and then you just drop one thing and like beef up the rest of the army.
Yeah.
Because you're like you said, right? All these characters can start being picked out pretty easily by cannons and stuff, pretty quick, and they're not fast. It's not like this army's running across the board, turn 1, and like killing everything, right? It's a slow march of infantry.
Yeah.
So
sounds wrong. Doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it feels like it has a lot of things that start off really well, and then when you read the whole thing, you're like, man.
Yeah, it's
no musician
not tough
on
enough.
One.
And none on the warriors, right? Just no musicians at all on this list. It's all to counter the wood elf banner of the silent mist thing that gives rewards musicians.
Alright, we're gonna move on from this one. Alright, here's my list. I'm going to let you talk without me listening while I run to the bathroom real quick. So you can talk about my list and I'll have to hear it later. I'll be back.
Okay. So I've played warriors a lot myself, and I'm not a fan of the Feldrake. I'm not a fan of the Feldrake Elder. And I don't like the Exalted Tarot that much. But if you want to play that, I think this is actually fine. The Warriors of Greed work well for me as well. The Sorcerer Chariot guy is fine as well. The Exalted Tarot guy, I love him. The one-up rerollable flying guy does a lot of work in almost all of the matchups. I played that as well. And the Hellmaw is just good. Though I like my second portal, but the second gateway marker, but one is fine as well. It's not very creative though, but I think it's fine.
Heinrich?
Yeah, I'm done with the list.
How long were you quiet for?
Like 10 seconds.
Okay, well you should have waited for me.
Long.
You should have kept talking. Done with my list? Yeah. For anyone wondering, I made a video about my list in the Warriors. I have a Warriors video where I talk about the list, so it's definitely, I'm not hiding anything. I pretty much told you why I take everything I take, so. Moving on, I'll listen to what you say and have to edit it probably, because you probably said something stupid. Alright.
I just said what I always say to you.
I know. You hate the Elder and all this other shit, so. Dave fought. So this list, I like this list. Before we even look at it, I like this list like 90%. Like this would be the other warrior list I'd play because I like it. So we have a Portent guy that just says, "Fuck you! I'm not even gonna take a rerollable save. I'm gonna take Immortal Gauntlets, which is man mode."
I like that.
Dragonfire Gem. It's actually nice anti other Portents, and there's only one, but it also is nice for alchemy if you ever run out of a unit, right?
Which what is it called? Which mark did he take? Is
Gluttony.
Where is it? He'll be there. I couldn't find it. I'm blind. Sorry. I found it.
I like that. You'll be Strength 6. I mean, you take Idle Spite whenever you need Strength 6 first, right? If you think you're going to win combat, just run Idle Spite, and then if somebody chaffs you, you just become Strength 6. I actually, I'll be honest, in this list, I could see you dropping Idle Spite.
Yes.
Because, you're paying 70 points for basically an attack and strength 6 one time, but there's a good chance you're going to win a combat before you need strength 6. Like, you can play around it. You can play around being just strength 5 with rerolls. And then you become strength 6. Like, if you needed 70 points, I'll say that's something I would consider dropping.
Yeah. But I like gluttony on the.
Oh yeah,
very important.
I totally agree. I think when you take him on the War DS now, I just think the way he's been running, like if you're not going to fly or take him on a horse, you're slow enough that you're just like going to stick in the warriors a lot of the time, and then Envy's kind of wasted a little bit for the 30 extra points, and obviously rerolling the hit can be nice, but I think being strength 6 all the time for 30 points less is pretty nice too. So
yeah, I mean he has strength 6 and 6 attacks, or at least strength 6, which is what you need in your list. Like what your list is lacking with the burning portent on foot and demonic wings. Sometimes that's a bit of an issue with only 5 attacks, strength 5.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. There's definitely. I mean, you have to play around what you got, but it's nice to have. Like, I like this version of it. I would take, and you know what? I've been kind of down with the no Dusk Forge, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think 1-up is enough.
Most people just have to kill. Yeah, just kill the fucking thing before it kills you, right?
Sounds like a good plan.
I know. And you're good against mirrored scales now.
Yeah, true.
Actually, you got to watch out. By the way, if you ever play the mirrored scales, you're going to want to go divine because they have ward saves, but you're probably not going to want to because it's more important that you don't die than. Pro tip. So sorcerer, Veilwalker, an occultism sorcerer with ledger and scepter, can't go wrong. So I always whenever I see like this 650 point mage, I'm like, damn, that's a nice magic phase, blah blah blah. And then whenever I make a list and he starts to get up in points that high, I'm like, I'm always getting a little sad that he's so expensive.
I think he's worth it, but with the second mage, it's like almost 1,000 points in magic, which seems like it feels bad. But if you're on the when you're playing and you have your magic phase, everything's fine again.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's this transition where like you're looking at it and you're like, man, I'm paying a lot of points for 2 guys that don't fight. And then you get in the game, you're like, I have 6 spells with Veilwalker, Occultism, and Alchemy buffs when combat starts, right? Yeah. And then you feel good again.
Yeah, it's like with Binding Scrolls, where when you need points in the list, you always cut them, but when you have them in your list and you're playing, you feel like, oh, thank God I have this Binding Scroll.
No, I'm with you on that. 20 warriors with Aether Icon, so he's going to be MR3 in the big bunker. 15 barbarians, 8 warhounds or 8 warhounds. Barbarians, I'm guessing. I think he uses more scoring and less of a bunker, but maybe he runs his adept in it sometimes. I'm imagining his adept's running in the big unit behind the champion. It's quite a block.
I had 15 barbarians in my original list as well, but I never put the mage in there, so I just cut them again.
Yeah, well, in this list, he needs the 3rd scoring, I think. I think he's...
Oh, that's true. True as well.
Double chaff, 4 chosen Knight's Greed, Stalker Stand Musicians. That's an expensive unit.
Yeah, I would prefer just Lust on them. You can... you don't need the Stalker Standard anymore, and you pay less points for Greed, I think.
Yeah, I like Lust on Chosen Knights. Well, you can. All right, you're replacing Greed for the Stalker Standard. Yeah, you don't get to choose weapons, but you can flee, which is really nice.
Yes, the fleeing is super nice, especially with the Halmor, because you can flee on one side of the map, rally, move on to the marker, and walk to the other side of the map.
Yeah, it's insane. No, for sure. No, I like it a lot. 2 elders. Unfair. I know you hate elders, but 2 elders.
Yeah,
and a Halmor.
That.
So it's a very interesting. So what do you? I want your thoughts first, since.
I like this list. What this list has, what yours, for example, didn't have, is magic resistance on the characters who can get sniped pretty easy. This can fight okay-ish to good, probably pretty good, but it's like 1,500 points in warping around and casting spells. And the Chosen Knights usually end up not fighting as good as anyone expects.
Yeah,
The Feldrex can't bet warp, but they are. I don't know. If you like them, they're fine. I just really don't like them.
Yeah. So I think I really like this list on paper a lot, and I'm sure it's going to perform pretty decently. I know he's a good player. I do. It kind of feels a little bad that you only have 2 units that can warp, and I know you say that as long as one unit's good and can warp, it's kind of worth it to have the helm wall, but I think the options are kind of limited where you basically, like, if you warp your chosen, you have, or your warriors, you have 2,000 points in that unit, and from what sometimes you just like get chaffed and like nothing happens, and or somebody like fucks you up somehow, but because I think the chosen knights are like kind of easy, not the easiest points, but kind of like they're not that hard to kind of neutralize and kind of be shitty for 660 points. And if
maybe you just sorry.
No, I was just saying, if you neutralize them with like 2 alchemy spells, and then all of a sudden you paid 400 points to port around 1 unit.
Yeah, maybe you just can cut one of the gateways and just buy the triple march banner on the movement banner.
Oh yeah, I think the warriors should have movement banner for sure. That unit's so slow.
Yeah.
And you like can't leave it with the general because I don't think it fights well enough on its own to like. I mean, you can hold. It holds 20 warriors holds well, but you're gonna have 900 points in mages in there.
Yeah.
So I think it might just have trouble being slow, like just a slow army ish in a weird way. It's like slow, but I don't know. Elders always seem scary, but you're right. Right, they get zoned out. If they get zoned out or one dies, you start lacking. Like I don't know.
It's not fast enough to like 2 Feldricks are fast, obviously, but like those are points you can just pick up. Like the Feldrick Elders, if you just cast and shoot everything at them, you will kill them, and then the army is pretty slow and still vulnerable. And I think that's the big issue. But I mean, you still have to kill 2 Feldricks. It's not easy to kill 2 of them.
Yeah. I think it's. I like this list. I think I would make changes to it because of just my style, but it has a portal, so I can't complain, right? It has a port.
Yeah, I think it's okay as well.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Jeff, Boss Hog. So now we have double masters. So we have 1,100 points in magic, a Shieldbreaker Lord with Prelate, big ass warrior block with speed at least, 2 hounds, 2 Felddrake units, a chariot, and lances. Go.
And no portal.
No portal.
I'm not sure if you need Dark Prelate when you have 2 masters.
I agree on that. I think that could be 60 points of nothing. I don't think you even have to take something else on him. Or the ward save. I think the ward save would have been better. Because you can get the 3+. Can you get the 3+ with the spell? With the
yes, you can.
Alright. I mean, like, so one of the... I mean, I guess you can give your... I can see why he does it, because he doubles up on 2 buffs, but to your point, you have 8 spells, like, you should be able to make something work, right? Something good should be able to be cast.
Yeah.
But,
and yeah, I don't think you need 2 masters. I think 1 is enough, and then like 1 buff unit, 1 buff mage, adept on the chariot maybe, and 1 just master on foot should be fine.
Yeah, I'm starting to come around on Evo Master, and not that I think Alchemy's bad. I think both can be viable. I think it depends on the rest of the list, but just the option for, because snipes feel good when like you're bad against snipes, when the enemy's bad against snipes, but then they feel really bad when like you're hit against some armies where you're just like.
Yeah, against demons, for example, it just feels so bad with the fighter board save against.
Yeah, and there's times where like the metal spells just do more damage, right? They just ping off things. I like alchemy, obviously, and then but the buffs in Evo are good too, right? They have 3 very good buffs for warriors. Reroll to hit is excellent because they have very high strength. Reroll to wound with lethal can be nice, obviously, and then -1 toughness with -1 leadership they're all great buffs, right? Because they're debuffs. I kind of there's a debuff. There's 2 buffs to you. I'm kind of with you. I don't think you need 2 masters. It's kind of like I've heard people tell me they don't like portals because their army's already fast, like the elders, the Feldrakes, right? But I'm like, but if you deploy your Feldrakes on one flank and the enemy like goes to the other flank or you kill it, being able to port your 5 Feldrakes to the other side of the board to keep fighting is pretty nice, I'd say.
Yeah.
If that warrior chariot was if he dropped Prelate and made that Warrior Chariot a Hellmaul without any portals, I think this list would be a lot better.
Yes, I agree.
Like, that would be so good, because the Chariot, whatever, he joins it with the character, fine. But, like, turn 3, when your Feldrakes are kind of around, putting that portal down, like if you break a flank or something, and then porting to the other side of the board, and it's a monster. Like, it doesn't, it's not Swift Strider like the Chariot, but it can get big flanks. You can walk up and you're like, okay, if you really want to go after my Hellmaw, it's 50 more points in this Chariot. You know what I mean? You understand. I don't need to convince you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I just think it's really nice in this type of list to have the option to portal late game, because you have so much shit they have to deal with early that they're not going to, like, if they kill the portal, then you're not relying on it anyway because your army's pretty fast. So I think if he dropped Prelate and turned that Chariot into a Hellmaw, I would actually really like this list a lot more. I still don't think you need to buy double Masters and stuff like that, but and then he has Shieldbreaker on his unit. I don't know if you need that, but I know he likes it now. He used to take Porton on his mage, or his guy.
But what do you think about the Feldrakes 2x5?
I take 3 Feldrakes and I do not like them at all. I take them because I can hide my Herald behind them, and I have Divination, so I can actually give them 3d6 leadership. But they're very blocky. Like, it's hard to fit them in. They have 4 attacks.
It's the UD problem, right? With the big footprints.
Except you can't heal them, and they take leadership. Like, to me, it's like you have 2 units of 5, and somebody puts a fucking Elder in front of you, forcing a clip, and you're like, well, I'm going to get 7 strength 5 attacks, and he gets 6 strength 6, and he calls his terror. And I'm taking a leadership check without stubborn because he's a rank and I only have 1 rank. You know what I mean? Like, you have
they're pretty tough. I like that they are tough because you can just like walk up to any scenario and you have.
That's true. I don't know if I like 1 unit.
5.
Do you like? I would take 1 unit. It's fine. I think.
I like them with the Banner of Speed because they are pretty fast, and then in Herald just to get the
attribute. Yeah, I could see like 4 or 5 with a Herald and like maybe with Halberds. I like Halberds. But.
Yeah, I like the Feldrakes with paired weapons. Just because
of the rank and flank. You want to kill like rank units.
They are fast. I like that they are fast and not as vulnerable as the Feldrake Elder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see 1 unit of 4 being really nice changeover from an Elder. Like, I think in the list above, if that Feldrake Elder was maybe like 4 with Musician and some type of weapon, because then it's another unit you can portal. It's another scoring unit, so he has 4 instead of the. You know what I mean? So I think because even if you took the Chosen Knights and made them Lust, then you drop the banner altogether, that you can kind of. Yeah, I'm down for. I don't love my unit of 3. I don't hate it. I wish I had another scoring. But I think all in like 1,400 points on 2 units might get a little cumbersome to use, especially without portals. So I don't know.
Yeah, but they are fast. I like that they are fast.
Yeah,
I think this is okay. It just could be improved. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one. We have a lot of different warrior lists. So I was sad because I thought I'd be the only Herald here, but someone else took one. So we got 3 Elders here. 3 Feldrakes, a Herald, a Barb Chief on a thing, 3 scoring. 3 scoring in core, a Ledger, Battle Shrine, which it's a little interesting to me to be that, but and 2 chaff. What are your thoughts?
I don't understand why the Barbarian Chief seems so expensive. I guess I get why he is the general, just so he can fit Duskforged and Heavy Armor and Thrice Forged in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's the general. Damn.
Yeah, else you wouldn't get all those items in there. But I don't like him being the general.
Is he 625 points if he does?
No, because he's supposed to die somewhere, right? Like, I would use that model to just charge anything and just pin them for 1 round and then push the rest of my army behind that.
It's true.
But I'm not a fan of the ancestor. Obviously, I don't like elders and I don't like the ancestor, but that's a personal thing. They are not bad. I just don't like them.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of big bodies. A lot of big bodies.
Yeah, but there's not much else to this list, right? Like the 3 monsters, the Herald and the Chimera guy, and everything else, like 10 Warriors of Lust don't do anything. The Pepper Shrine is okay-ish. And then a little bit
I'm surprised he has Ledger because I feel like it'll never be close to the things that are actually dying. I mean, you're going to be close to the Warriors, but I don't know how close you're going to be to like the Elders dying. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
He doesn't even have that much magic to support it.
He has a Herald and.
Well, maybe you just take the Sorcerer model upgrade on the Herald all the time, just because.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to, just so you can bomb big spells out and make it. Because if you have a Graves Calls and a Hellfire and maybe a Portent or Mark for Doom or something, then you at least have you're casting 4 to 3 dice spells that are very impactful. Yeah. You can take Veil Walker. You can take a Whispers as a debuff on the Battle Shrine. That's pretty good.
And the Herald doesn't have to be tanky because he's not the general, and there are other monsters that your opponent has to take care of.
It'll run at people and live or die, right? It might just. Yeah. I think things like he doesn't. The Herald can fly, but nothing else flies, so you could run into a problem where people just chaff you really easily, potentially. I know Thomas was saying something interesting about, and this is kind of playing it on the board, and I've faced this on the other side too, is where if I have an Elder and you have an Elder, we don't want each other's Elders to charge each other, right? Maybe you want to take the risk, but for the most part, you don't want your Elder charged by their Elder. Is that fair to say, potentially?
Yeah. Yes.
And when you have 2 Elders, it doesn't change that math at all. 1 Elder can still zone out 2 Elders because you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right? You can kind of zone each other out. Kind of like how sometimes I've seen 5 Rymanites charge, zone out 3 units because none of the units can individually take the charge, so you can't do anything unless you're willing to sacrifice one of your units. So it might come into that play where somebody's has 4 Mourn Thing and they're just sitting there and you're like, okay, well, none of my unless I'm going to flee with them, I can't do anything because they can't. It's not like they can join each other and become a super Elder unit. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
If anyone has an answer to the Telrex, the whole army just can't really push anymore.
Yeah, I think he'll crush some people, but I think there's some lists here that might give him trouble.
If you don't have a good answer for them, this army pushes forward and may just kill you.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. I wouldn't play this.
Well, you hate Elders, so. It's like everything you hate in one army.
Oh yeah, true. I don't like. I like the Barbarian Chief.
You just don't want to be the general.
Yeah, he's a little too expensive, maybe.
Would you drop Duskforged? You think?
Yeah, Duskforged.
Just say
and
whatever.
Then you don't need a shield and can just get a great weapon, and then he has a little bit of more grinding potential.
Mm-hmm. Because then you're saying at that point he's 370 points. You're I'm just gonna die, right?
Yeah. And he's fast. I like that he's fast, but he's fast now. But
I mean, I moved 20 model. A lot of things that are gonna kill him are gonna kill him like a cannon, right? Regardless of if you have Duskforged or not. And yes, he can die in combat to strength 6 and stuff, but
pretty sure the cannon won't shoot at the.
No, it won't. Chief. It won't. I'm saying the model in general.
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to shoot him.
But I think the general on the Herald would be better, usually, because you probably aren't shooting at the Herald as well. Cannons shoot at the monsters because it's +1 to hit and even +2 to hit, quote unquote, if the Herald has hard target.
True. Yeah, because if you're going to probably take Veil Walker a lot of the time, then you don't. You
don't need the high strength, so you can just take the hard target against most armies, and you're kind of fine.
Yeah, and then you have the heal if you need to, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, next list. We're almost done. Last list.
Oh,
this
last list.
Last list.
Huh. Oh, it's the barbarian list.
Yeah. It's hard to read. So he has a trophy rack barbarian general and a war DS that has 3 attacks with shield breaker. He has a great weapon behemoth that takes crystal ball and weird stone instead of. He doesn't have MR on it, which is weird.
Oh, that's weird. I
He
think
takes he takes MR on his occultism guy.
Okay. Crystal ball is way better if you have magic resistance in your army.
He does have it, at least on the
A little bit at least.
So he's a Veil Walker occultism guy. Occultism, whatever. With heirloom, hero's heart. Alright, that's not bad. 690. It's an expensive model for sure, but
it's a master, right?
Yeah. So that's his only magic, which is enough in my opinion. But
oh yeah.
38 barbarians. What?
38 barbarians. I still like the barbarians with great weapons.
Yeah.
It's still cheap.
I don't like. Then he has an Aether icon. I'm guessing that's the bunker for the heroes.
Yeah,
I don't like the paired weapon unit. Seems trashy.
But it's super cheap.
But like, wouldn't you just?
I mean, you get like if you compare it, every album player gets like 15 spears for almost the same points. 50 to 20 spears.
But wouldn't you rather just have great weapons?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Sometimes just paired weapons is cooler.
He's way over core, so it could have easily been something else. So.
Okay.
So he has 10 barbarian calves with light lances.
They're fine. I like those.
3 flare units. You like flares?
Yeah, I like them.
I would have liked this one to be skinning lash too. Like, find the 20 points, man. Find the 20 points to get the triple skinning lash. Lash bros for life.
But 2 times 10.
Can't do 2 times 10.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot.
15 max.
So unfair.
I know. Like I don't see the point of the light lances per se. I don't know though. Do you like light lances on your guys?
No, they don't want to fight.
Yeah, I would drop both light lances and get this flares skinning lashes.
Sounds like a good trade, especially because you don't have to track where your army is, where the unit is without the lashes.
2 Forsaken ones and a giant. So people talk about it being a 4 monster list, which it is, but it's a lot different than like 4 elders or something like that. These monsters aren't as threatening, in my opinion. It's a different level of threatening.
But the giant, as I said earlier, isn't a real monster, in my opinion. Like giants are cool, but they are not that expensive, and they often don't really act like monsters. I feel like. I mean, you have a big unit with barbarians with shields. Maybe you just take a spear giant to have another fighting unit, and put that in the shield unit, or maybe in the barbarians with paired weapons.
I would have liked. Yeah, I think that it would have been really cool if you're going to take 3 units of barbarians to have the guy with the spear.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do it in any list, why wouldn't you do it here, right?
Yeah, I think the spear guy would be nice in this list. Just he doesn't have to end up in a barbarian unit, but he may go there, and I think that's just pretty solid.
Yeah. So what do you think of this list?
I'm not sold on it. I wouldn't play that.
You would or wouldn't?
Forsaken, I wouldn't. The Forsaken ones seem good, but without the
reroll,
Lord of the Damned, they're like an average charge range of 10.5 inches. It's like playing a dwarf army, and I don't know.
I will say, people complain that they don't have stomps, but they have D6 plus 3 hits, right?
Yeah, I like their damage output.
That's like, if you look at an elder versus a infantry unit has D6 plus 4 hits on average, because it hits on 3s usually.
Yeah.
So this is D6 plus 3, no variance in the hits to hit. And against anything that you can't stop, it averages way more hits than the elder does. So like, when people say it doesn't stomp, like if you look at the grinding is like really good. Like D6+3 grinds, auto hits. You don't care what they're fucking distracting, anything. You're not gonna whiff. You're gonna know you're gonna get at least 4 strength 6 hits, and it's unbreakable. Like it's definitely pretty nice. It's the defense 2 and like right that in the random move you kind of need the rerolls for it. Like
yeah, I like the unit one because you're always hitting.
If you could stomp, this thing would be ridiculous. Like you couldn't do D6+3 if it could stomp.
Yeah, I mean if in the whole thing with the Feldweg standoff, the Forsaken ones are nice because you can push them forward and they always hit your opponent.
It's true, and you can.
It's pretty nice.
Actually, that's a great point because even if like another monster fights you, right, you're unbreakable. So wait, what? Oh, because do they have that thing at the initiative 0?
They always hit. I'm pretty sure.
Look it up.
It's the same rule that says that they have the random attacks. I will look it up.
Look it up just to make sure. I think you're right. I remember reading it, but I'm not putting it up because I'm showing the list.
Let me check. It's what is it called? Forsaken one. Yeah. Irredeemable. So it's in the beginning. Yeah, you remove it as your casualty at initiative 0.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's cool. And it's also cool because like if you do get a chance to hit a monster with D6+3 strength 6 on a giant does a lot of wounds, and then if it kills you back the next turn or something, then you get to your attacks anyway and you probably kill it, right? Yeah. So I like them. I think they're going to be they'll be annoying. I think some lists like right, like if you have Pyro, if you throw enough fucking attacks at it, it's just going to die. It has no armor and it's regen and it's 6 strength, toughness 6, but Important can kill it. AP2 sucks. That's probably the other big thing. It sucks against armor.
What I like about it though is that it's good against monsters, and there are a lot of monsters played.
Yeah, no, I like him. I think if he had the reroll thing somewhere, it would be good. Like he could have taken it on his general, because his general, what you take fucking shield. You have 5 attacks with hatred, battle focus. Maybe it's great. Maybe you might be able to stamp to a character. No, you probably can't. No, understand. I would have tried to fit it somewhere. But whatever. Not my army. He got into Masters playing Asklanders.
Ah, okay.
So I think he turned his Asklander list into a warrior list.
Yeah,
because they're not allowed.
I see it. I see that. This is close to an Asklander list.
Yeah. All right, so that's the list. So you've seen them all. And there's some play-in lists. We're not going to really go through them. There's too many. Travis could come through. Stoddles and Ogre lists that come through. There's some tree lists down there. Demons with Scourge. There's 2 Scourge lists. So let's ignore the people that are coming in from the play-in. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions?
I like one of the Vermin Swarm lists.
Which one?
More. I think Keith.
Okay, Keith. So you like Keith's Vermin Swarms with the gutters and the 2 A bombs?
I have no clue how good the players are.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just talk about the list.
By the lists, I would say that. Then I like the second Saurian Ancient list from Len.
Yep. Do you like the ID, or you think, given what you saw, it's not going to do as well?
Oh yeah, the ID list. I was looking at one list that I like. Yeah, I like the ID list as well. Those are my top 3 probably.
Solid picks. You don't know the players though, do you?
No, I don't know the players.
So you might be disappointed.
You said that.
You didn't even pick your Dark Elf list, man.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm playing something else on my own, and I think that's better.
Gotcha. Well, we're gonna see what happens. It should be entertaining.
And I think against most lists, that list isn't as that good.
Okay, like in the meta, what we're seeing here.
Yeah, at least it's better than the other Dread of list.
I love that you're so real. You just say what you like. That's good. You weren't too mean though, so I
Oh,
appreciate
I'm
that.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I had to hold back a little bit. There's a couple lists we went hard on, but nothing too crazy. Well, I appreciate it. We'll see if your predictions pan out. See if they actually score the points you're thinking. And thanks again.
Thanks as well.
All right, bye.